Colleagues, hello and welcome to our webinar. My name is Ivan. I'm working for Polywall Software Solutions company. Today we will be talking about control rooms, about the design of control rooms, how to make it cost effective. We'll talk about the technologies which we are using to build the control rooms of different designs, depending on the customer requirements. And we'll be talking about how to build the control room in the most cost-efficient way, looking into the technologies which we have right now on the market. Just a small introduction of myself and my company. The company called Polywall Software Solutions team. Our product started 15 years ago, and the first version was just a simple multi-viewer for the situational control rooms. Over these 15 years, we were continuing developing the product. Now it is a platform which is capable to do every job inside the control room environment, means generate sources, capture sources, create an image for the video walls, provide the automation backend, custom interfaces, and many more. Right now, we are delivered since 10 years. We delivered more than 1,000 projects right now delivered. So quite big set of experience. Companies based in UAE and some developer office in Cyprus. I myself worked 6 years for this company, and over this past 6 years, I was only doing one work, doing the control room business. I have seen a lot of designs. I have seen a lot of deployments, and I know what works, what not. And some of the information which I gathered across this time, not only me, but my team as well, we will be sharing today. So we have the Q&A section in the webinar. So whenever you have any questions, please mention in this Q&A session, and I will be often referring to it and answer your questions. So talking about company, we are not making any direct business anywhere. We are pure software house. Means we develop software and help our fellow partners, distributors, integrators, consultants to deploy a software in their premises of their customers. So our job is to support you, professionals of AV market, in creation, deployment, planning of the control rooms. That is actually on every stage. We can help our partners with a product demonstration, with a solution design, with hardware advice, commercial protection, and support in deployment and in POC. So generally, our job is to support you, our contractants, our integrators and distributors in this heavy job of making customer happy. When customer happy, he pays and we get paid, all of us get paid. That's the philosophy of our business approach. We, together with our partners, we approached a lot of customers since this last 10 years, and a lot of MNCs, different verticals such as banks, financial institutes, mining companies, consultants, IT guys of any sort, infrastructure companies, power distribution, utilities, and many, many, many more. So generally, all types of the verticals nowadays deploy control rooms, and in almost every of such control rooms, the solution, Polywall as a solution, can be used. Okay, that was a short intro of company. So just we are on one page with what we are talking about. And let's talk about technologies which we observe on the market, which we see. There is a lot of brands which provide control room solutions, dozens of them, and all of them are great. There is a lot of difference between them, but looking from the above on the market, we see just several blocks and several technologies behind the control room. So let's overview them one by one. First technology, which we see, and it's generally very, very widespread across different markets, it's a no control system at all. So the user just use his laptop or workstation, get a splitter, connect several screens, and push manually source to the screens. It is very simple story. It's very inexpensive for customers. They just really like it because he can just spend a pocket money to get this done. And generally, it will contain the sources which are required by user right now. So they just open the web dashboard, or VCS or any other other source manually and put to the screen using the mouse. It's a good story. There is also the negative points about that control system. First of all, it does not support anything bigger than, I don't know, 2x2 or just one panel. That's a limitation. The video wall should be right next to the user because there is a cables length and they just need to always see their mouse pointer to be able to control it. One of the biggest negative points of that is that only manual control. So whenever they need some new source on this video wall, they just use a mouse and manually create it. In a summary, it's inexpensive. Sometimes it works, and there is a lot of budget constrained projects where there is no space for good control system. So that's a choice. Every vendor like Matrox, Barco, DataPath, famous vendors have the cost-effective solutions, I mean inexpensive first-price solutions to handle this kind of a system. Good story, but not for us. No value, no place for us to bring any value. So integrator just don't have any space. What, buy this device, customer can do it himself. No way to deliver any value add. Next, and I would say one of the most common stories on the market, it's a video matrix, video processor or video controller. All of them are based on the certain device. Usually it's a big box, big or small. It have input and output slots for video cables. Input, you connect the computers. Output, you connect the panels. And then you decide, in the case of processor, you decide so which input will be switched to which output. In a controller story, you decide you can actually build a layout on your video wall combined out of several inputs. So pros of that technology and a good strong points of that technology is, first of all, it is quite robust and reliable because there is no operating system. There is nothing to fail. It works very good and fast switching of the sources. It is very simple to connect. You just take a cable from workstation to the controller or processor and just plug in. That's it. And the same for the panels. You just take a cable from panel to this device. It is often used for larger video walls because you can insert multiple expansion cards which will accommodate really huge video walls. There is also a negative points of that kind of controllers. First of all, it cannot generate content by itself. So only computers are the sources. So which means that you cannot expect this unit to create the dashboard for you or to put some kind of document on a video wall or anything else, only computers. Second point, that there is no way how you can interact as a supervisor, how you can interact with certain remote computer giving the signal. So it's only you take a signal and put on the video wall, that's it. And of course, based on the distance which can be used for HDMI cable to transfer the signal, everything is local. So it's just exactly one room where you have workstations, this controller, and the video wall. So it's quite limited in the space, local. So to summarize this story, it is very robust, means it just works 10 years without any changes and nothing will happen with it. It's a hardware based, there is no operating system, nothing to maintain. It's a local, which means that everything in one room. And generally, it's quite reliable story for the solutions like CCTV monitoring tool, where you have a big video wall and 10 operators working with observation stations. And then you take the signals from these workstations and put on the video wall. That's a most common story. Chinese guys are really kind of this story. There is a risk, however, about this story, as Chinese guys are well known to go direct to customers, to integrators, avoiding the channel, leaving very low margins. That is not my words. I hear it from you guys when we talk about this kind of solutions. And there is a very low space to value add from integrator, which means that you just come on, take box and give it to customer. Sometimes you screw it to the rack, that's it, and then connect cable. So there is not much you can do here to showcase your professionalism and to charge for your services. Okay, so that's a video matrix. Next technology, which is very common on the market, and it's already proven, and you can find it in many, many places, it's AV over IP system. It can combined from input nodes, output nodes, or encoders, decoders, RX-TX units, and some L3 media network switch, which is used to control which stream from which node will come to each node. So the positive side about that, and for illustration, I took data buffer Atria, quite good AV system right now, that you are completely free in a way where physically where your nodes are located. So your workstation can be in one room, your screen can be in another room, you can have multiple screens across facility, and you can easily decide which source will be on which screen. So that solution is tailored to the case when you have multiple workstation sources from workstation and multiple screens, and it's quite simple to scale, which means you just add a couple more encoders and connect them to workstations. You add several decoders and connect to the screens, and that's quite simple to scale up. Negative point of that solution is that, first of all, again, there is no place to anything rather than workstation images. So this solution cannot create dashboard for you, cannot create just kind of document for you or run any application or anything like this. It only showcases a PC screen. Negative point connected with the nature of this technology is that there is a large number of devices always. All these devices are active, which means that you need to take care about the big network of different devices. You should monitor them always and make sure that all of them are working properly. And considering the cost in some expensive stories or stories when you go to bar or restaurant, it becomes a quite expensive story because it's large brand premium usually on that kind of stories, that kind of devices, and the media switch is not something regular. So to summarize, it's a flexible hardware-based system. So again, operating system usually on these boxes for distributed premises. When you have a multiple sources like PCs and multiple screens. But that kind of solution require a lot of maintenance, monitoring, and there is a lot of budgetary options from expensive brands, which can easily cost $200,000 just for signal management, to Chinese no name where you just have $100 per box. From integrator point of view, this kind of project require a hard skills, not only pro AV, which means properly connect cables and set up the system so it works, but also you should be a pro in a networking to set up the network in a proper way. Okay, but that's a good solution which easily competes with the previous one. As an option to AV over IP, a next solution is, let's put it, IP KVM. So KVM is similar to AV over IP in a way that it is using the nodes behind every source. And again, there is only workstations and the screens behind these nodes. But what is different is a USB also can be controlled. So you can connect your keyboard and mouse and organize operator workplace. You can connect from one PC, manage another PC, and there are many, many different options how you can interact with the content. So AV/IP with interaction with the content. So positive side is that it's very, very convenient to work with multiple workstations. They can be manned or unmanned. You can control this workstation remotely easily. Again, it's a total freedom of placement of the sources across the network and a simple scalability. Negative sides, the nodes which are used here are not cheap stories. That becomes really, really expensive when considered to other solutions. And again, a dedicated network switch. And okay, it's not anymore the pure hardware story. It has the operating system on these nodes. Usually it's a Linux. Sometimes it is used for Windows, but usually it's a Linux story. So it's advanced hardware/software-based system for the content distribution from computers to multiple locations and interactions. it tends to be really expensive story, and high skills are needed to set it up properly. So these more or less hardware related technologies for the control room business. And last but not least in our review will be the software controller story. Software controller means that there you have just one Windows-based computer which generates sources on demand whenever you need it, capture cabled sources, capture over IP sources. So it's a unification of all the technologies which we started before, allowing you to select what you need for your specific project. Positive side, there is a lot of interesting options. First of all, it generates sources by itself. It does not need any PC to provide the source to it. It can just run applications based on your operator actions. It works with all types of the sources: documents, media files, browsers, video conferencing systems, different applications, computers like workstations, and cameras. So all of these can be sources for that system. It works on anything. There is no specific need for some hardware unit, because you see all previous technologies where the technologies where you have to procure, deliver, maintain, RMA, all this stuff, some specific hardware. And usually it's a proprietary hardware with a high brand premium, because everybody wants to eat, everybody wants to have a bonus and salary. So this kind of hardware was always core of your projects. And here in a software controller story, your hardware is your choice. So you can go for the expensive options like DataPath, you can go for the Dell computers, or you can ask your engineer to assemble the PC for your specific project. So works on anything. It works in any type of the network: Wi-Fi, cabled, corporate network, dedicated network. For this solution, it doesn't matter. It does not require you to create a separate network only to accommodate the sources. And that is way how you can create a cost effectiveness, because you don't need a dedicated network. Again, it's like 20% of your cost estimation just goes away. It is very simple in terms of number of devices. You see, for a signal generation, you just need one PC, and that's it. So nothing more needed. No boxes around, no specific storage, just one PC. Negative points is here as well. First of all, it's a Windows based. So, you know, info security guys, they just don't like Windows much. Some consider that Windows is not 24/7 because you need to maintain it on a regular basis. You need to make sure that there is a properly updated, so there are fresh drivers, etc., etc. So Windows consider every month you should reload it, just because it's a Windows and it works exactly this way. So there is a set of peculiarities about this Windows environment, which you can consider as a negative point of the solution. And another negative point is that when we come to the really large video walls, and by really large, I mean video walls more than 40 LCD panels in one video wall, for such video walls, you will be somewhat limited by the size of the chassis. It will be quite difficult to find the proper chassis to address a video walls or huge video walls. The rest is okay. So to summarize, a software controller is actually unification of all previous technologies like video matrix, over IP, IPKVM, which is emulating all of this as a software. It does not require a specific expensive hardware, and hardware just usual IT stuff. It have a lot of space for your value add, for your services, and for your setup paid services. And as a system builder, using the software controller, you can become a vendor. It means you can create your product, and the brand premium, which was taken by the manufacturers of the boxes in previous technologies, will be your brand premium. So that is a way how your company can become a pro AV vendor for this market. Okay. So just to summarize and put on one slide all the technologies. So no control system is a good choice when customer don't have budget. So if you don't have budget, but you want us for recommendation, okay, buy splitter and connect it and use it manually. No worries, it will work. It's a good, by the way, good option for the, you know, just a lead generation. he can play with this splitter for 1 month, and then you come back and ask, so are you ready to talk about controller? Okay, second option, video matrix. You choose when you have some big room where all the operators are located inside and nobody outside, and only computers to be sent to the video wall. So video matrix will be a very simple way to connect multiple workstations and put it on the big video wall. If you don't need anything else other than this, consider video matrix as a good choice. A VVRP story is a good when you have a distributed system. So when your network is full of screens, so you need to make a digital signage, you need to make a smaller or bigger video walls across a facility, you need to gather the sources from across a facility. That is a use case for a VVRP or a PKVM story. And a software controller you use when customer not yet decided finally what he needs. When customer wants to work with the content, interact with the content at any moment. When customer tomorrow can increase number of dashboards which he wants to have on the video wall, just like this. Oh, okay, I need the 2 more dashboards. So when you need a compatibility, when customer use some customized software and he wants to run it many times, when you need some compatibility with something which is coming from the customer, and when customer asks strange items like, can I have my custom interface for my smartphone or for my tablet? And last but not least, when customers don't have a huge budgets which you can utilize to do it on a usual story like Crestron or something like this. When it is like this, consider software as a good solution for this kind of projects. So that's it about technologies. If you have any questions right now about the technology, about the comparison, please drop the message to Q&A session, and we can go forward. Okay. Example of a software controller is a Polywall. Actually, it's us. It's one of the leading vendors on the pure software controller market, the market where we don't provide any hardware to you. So it's completely up to you, up to your project details, up to your relations, up to your local availability, what you put behind the video wall. So let me just introduce you shortly the features, and again, support the words, what I said about the flexibility. So Polywall 3.9 is the latest version, is a universal, pure software environment for command and control room. Main items, main jobs of this software. First of all, it works on the PC and generate the image, large resolution image for your video walls. It can be physical video walls, LCD, LED, or virtual reality video walls. It is generating sources on demand, means when user or operator is requesting the source, the application is running. So there is no need for any PC to provide the sources. But if you have a PC, you have a lot of options how you capture content from it and send it to your video wall. If you have an AVO streams, there is a set of options how you can take it and put on your video wall. So it is a combination of all the technologies which we discussed before. Inside Polywall, there is an automation engine. So if you come into the Crestron-based project, which is already registered for some other brand, it happens. Yeah. So what you can do, you can actually get rid of Crestron and do all the automation on the Polywall backend. It's a very convenient tool to create custom scripting, to handle different IoT devices, and to create the custom interfaces for any type of the browser-based devices to have the interface. And last but not least, these interfaces are a magnitude. So there is a keyboard and mouse interface. We call it master interface, Polywall Designer. There is a touch-based interfaces for your smartphones, tablets, wall-mounted plates, kiosk, and all kind of touch devices. And there is interesting options with a voice control. So let's check a bit in the details. And again, if you are interested in any details about what I'm talking about, just put in the Q&A session, Q&A option. I will try to bring more details. So first of all, generating the large resolution image for the video walls. Actually, for Polywall, there is a PC behind your video wall. Usually it's multi-output PC. And Polywall creates unified pixel space or canvas across the desktop space of that PC. And then using the outputs, this image goes to the video wall. If it is an LCD panels video wall, like I have on my background, 4x2 video wall combined of the LCD panels, we just remove the need for any hardware-based splitters, processor controllers, matrices, anything. You just don't need them. You connect cables from your panels right to this PC, and that's it. Nothing more needed. PC network and the cables connected to video wall. Usually, for majority of our small and medium sized projects, that's it. So you just have one PC, one video wall, and it works. For LED video walls, and LED video walls always supported and with a LED box, we are working as a media server. So this PC creates the output signal for the LED box. So you have your LED box, like, I don't know, NovaStar H9, and multiple sender cards, and one input card, which have two inputs for two 4K inputs. So Polywall is a standalone unit. It's just PC with two 4K outputs, which will generate a pixel-to-pixel image for that big LED video wall. So that's how it works. And last but not least, and that's a unique story about Polywall, is that whatever you're doing with your video walls, you can project inside virtual reality rooms. Inside virtual reality, you can have a video wall replication, a live, high-quality image from all your Polywall video walls will go to the virtual reality. So your top managers or department heads can quickly access the video wall from any location whenever they are located. So that's an interesting bonus. And if somebody interested, I can talk later in details about that. So generating sources on demand is one of the differentiating points of the software-based controller. And Polywall, which is working again under Windows, whenever customer or user requests their source on the video wall by dragging and dropping the source to the canvas of video wall, a Polywall will launch a certain application and show the window on the video wall. The applications are generally all types of them. First of all, and most common story is the browsers. These browsers can show dashboards, can show some application server content. It can show just web page from internet or YouTube or just links. It can be HTML documents and so on. So browsers, all combination, all kind of links. Second point, Polywall can run the players. So IP streams from any origin. It can be the encoder inside the network connected to some workstation. It can be IP camera stream of any origin, usual RTSP, RTP, RTMP. It can be NDI source. It can be ONVIF source. So all types of the network sources from IP cameras supported. And playback on the controller without any additional decoder devices. It supports VNC. VNC connections allow you to bring in the application server's content with the ability to remotely control them. So that's a way how you can replace the IP KVM functionality just with VNC endpoints across your workstations, which needs to be presented on video wall and controlled. We can run the different endpoints of systems like VMS system, SCADA system, GIS system, BMS, ERP, and whatever other abbreviations available on the market. So what we can do, we can just run the application straight on the video wall controller PC. So you don't need to have a certain operator running and showing this content from his PC. We can run it without him, just by features of Polywall. Also, it's related to video conferencing solutions. We can run documents. So PDF documents are natively supported. Microsoft Office documents can be sent to the video wall, like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, all these kind of docs. Just straightforward, come to video wall and playback. Media files, like pictures, videos, without any limitations, just send them to the video wall and it will be playback. You see, you don't need a separate PC to show the video on your video wall. You just need your video file. That's it. And last but not least, it's a different types of the text boxes. It can be announcement, it can be ticker line, it can be some decoration item, or whatever else you need for your video wall. So you see, sources are generated on demand, and there is no need for specific PC with that content. You can generate them just by video wall controller PC. But of course, a lot of, I would say, almost every control room project requires a certain operator screens to be sent to the video wall. And for that, we support several, I would say, all of the possible ways how you can capture it. So first, it's a classical, same as video matrix. You connect video cable from your workstation to your video wall controller PC. Just you need to have a capture card inside video wall controller and a video cable. It works absolutely the same way as video matrix, but without video matrix. No need. So good quality, fast switching, and low payload for the video wall controller. Next option is a VNC. For that, we have a module which is called Polywall agent. It is works like usual VNC application. You just install it on remote PC and send this screen sharing to your video wall. And any moment you can zoom into this application and control it from the operator place. So that is exactly how IP KVM story works, but with some limitations like a frame rate of that signal. For IP sharing, we have the module called Polywall Streamer. And using this software module, you can stream a content of your desktop or application window or connected video device to the network. It does not require any boxes. So just by running software, you can share the content of your workstation to the network. No need for anything. So it's a perfect way how you can address the needs of multiple distributed workstations, which needs to be taken and transferred to the video wall. And if you have a lot of such workstations in one network, in one project, that creates a real price benefit, cost benefit over the traditional hardware-based AV systems. I will show you later how it works in the actual projects. And again, a strange words, VR, virtual reality. So all of your workstations which you have in your project can be projected to personal virtual reality space of your senior guys. So they can not only see the video walls, like we discussed a bit before, but also the workstation content. In live, high quality view of your workstations can be given to the top managers to oversee. It's a really interesting story. Try it. Fantastic, fantastic looks. Okay, going further, Polywall automation is the integration backend which can handle IoT and API devices. IoT devices are handled by any protocol. It can be standard TCP or HTTP. It can be ZigBee. It can be MQTT, OPC UA, or any other protocol for interaction with home automation, industrial automation devices, and so on. So there is a lot of supported protocols and a lot of abilities how you can interact, means send data or instruction, receive data or instruction, process this information, and make certain scripting how to behave in case it reaches certain values or in case it responds with an improper way. So that you can easily program without coding just by the features of this backend. This automation, Polywall automation is added to all the licenses of Polywall without cost increase, which makes it a real cost saver when you fight with a competition and when you have some competitive products already registered, so you cannot access good prices. So go with Polywall automation, make your project, make your custom interface for all the devices, and pay zero money for that and invoice customer for that. That's a great way how you can make a value add for your projects just by coding all these integrations and interfaces. By the way, interface builder is included. Okay, so last but not least is that exact interfaces. So like 3 or 4 years ago, when I was talking with customers who consider different softwares for their control room, me and my competitors, we were all discussing about the quality of your master interface. Look how many features I have here. Look how complex this interface, how many different stories and use cases you can run using the same interface. It's a great story for the trained personnel, but as time is showing, customers now don't like to learn interface. They just want to push two buttons and to have the system respond to it. So these complex interfaces is a good choice for supervisor, but not very good choice for simple users, untrained operators, management guys, some guests or other stories. We call this kind of interfaces role-based or tailored interfaces. And why? Because you tailor it to the actual role of the person. So that's a most impressive and advanced way how you can make a user rights management. You give to your users exactly rights which they allow it to do. If some person is entitled only to switch some layouts on the video wall, you give him blank page with just 4 buttons which are he allowed to push. If another person is capable to select the layout from the list of layouts, you give him a list of layouts and tailor it to his smartphone. So whenever he wants this new layout on the video wall, he opens smartphone, tap the button, and the layout goes to video wall. And he cannot do anything else from that interface. If your user would like to control the PowerPoint presentation, which is on the video wall from his, again, smartphone, give him that kind of interface. That is a perfect way how you can make the users do not ask for training from you, but instead straightforward use the interface which they're given. And interesting point, again, you see there is a VR point here. These interfaces can be available from inside VR. So imagine you have your video wall projected to virtual reality. So user of this VR room can see what's happening in the actual room. And you give him a touch panel inside VR. So he can push on the buttons and switch layout on the physical video wall from inside VR. It's a fantastic story. So interactive video walls in VR, something which was not offered by anybody on the market right now except us. Last but not least, it's a small option, small offset of the usual interface story. It's a voice control. So right now, it's a completely light software methods how you can create a voice control. For that, you don't need microphone. You don't need to have a coder. You don't need to procure and bring in some complex environment or complex devices. All you need is this. You just need to bring your own device connected to Wi-Fi. So customers who use these kind of interfaces, they just push the button on Wi-Fi, listen to me button. Okay, show me cameras, and it just happens. So that is really simple story. I understand that it's not usually for control room environment. It's generally a feature for the experience centers and boardrooms. But believe me, when some top manager guy comes to your control room to see how it's working, and you show voice control, it's something which you would like to do. Okay, so that we can also discuss later. Just to summarize, a Polywall is a platform to organize complete control room environment. It has the modules which you can cherry pick to provide the exactly functionality which you need. It combines a video matrix features with AV over IP features, with IP KVM features. Add here a lot of custom interfaces, sources generated on demand, virtual reality control rooms, and you will receive the product which we can fulfill all the requirements of your customer with a very modest amount of money. Very cost-effective solution to build a control room environment. That's it about the Polywall, about the sample of a software control system. And as promised in my invitation for this webinar, we were about to talk about the cost-effective ways how we create the control rooms. That was story. So select a proper control room technology. If it is a software, use Polywall because it's a solution which can accommodate everything. And let's see several cases. We are exactly on the track. Several cases of practical implementation of Polywall in a successful control room projects. Whatever I will show you, it's a real projects which have been already delivered and received a high remark from the users based on the a very high cost efficiency, wide functionality, exact match to customer requirements, and a light story about the no hardware needed. Okay, so with some of you with whom we are working on a regular basis, you know that I'm using this Miro tool to create a solution design. This document is not a floor plan. It's a supportive document which explains to IT guys, to the business guys, how it will work, how it will look, and what the solution can work like this. Okay, so the first room and first control room which I want to show you, this control room was built for the bank which have multiple branches. From every branch, there is a set of cameras observing the situation. And the problem was that for every branch, there is a separate VMS system of different brands. So the problem is that there were multiple brands of VMS system in one project. So what you need to do, you need to feed your video wall with all the stories from your video wall. So how we have done this, I will show you right now. So main item was an LPC where we have a Matrox GPU and Matrox capture card installed. If you use a Matrox GPU and Matrox capture card, you receive a lot of benefits. So that's why whenever we recommend this usage of Matrox, we always try to stick to the same brand for GPU and for capture cards. And the main idea, preliminary idea from the beginning was to actually have video wall like that, 3 by 3, not very common size for the video walls, but in this case you see that it is because of configuration of the room itself. Okay, and have four workstations like this. You see guys sitting, and they need to actually project a second panel from every workstation to the video wall. That was the original idea. And integrator was quite fast on the developing on this. Look, that was the result. You see 3 by 3 layout, 4 workstations giving the signal. But then customer said, I don't like it. You see, I don't like that we have 3 by 3 layout and only four sources. Let's make one source, one workstation, one screen. Let's add one more branch, so a 5th workstation. And let's add all our cameras as independent sources. Imagine you already sold the project, you already did all the cost estimations, and you have been already paid for that. But then customer asks something which is way more than what is your original equipment is capable for. So what we do, and that is about cost effectiveness and about the versatility of Polywall. So capture card have 4 inputs, and we have 5 workstations. What to do? So for workstation number 4, we have been giving the cabled input, and the 5th workstation was using our Polywall streamer. I will remind, it will transfer, encode a part of your desktop and convert it to IP stream. So high resolution, high quality video signal from your workstation. So this display over IP feature was used for the to capture content from the 5th workstation and send it straight forward to the video wall. So first, all 5 workstations are giving signal. Next point, customer would like to have a magnitude of the sources. So that was a result. You see the video wall is completely occupied by sources. But when we look into the Polywall designer master interface, we see, sorry for low resolution, but that's a requirement from bank, do not show anything in details. So we see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 workstations, every workstation fit to one screen. And then here we have the 80 individual streams. But we have it's really great that we had the Matrox IPX on this project, because it is capable not only to provide the input capacity, but also have the decoding capacity. So it can receive a signal through the cable, network cable, and process the streams just by itself, by the video decoding feature. So fifth workstation was added by Polywall streamer. 20 camera feeds were decoded on IPX, and the rest were decoded on CPU. Polywall allow you to balance workload. So you can specify, you can have the certain streams processed by the capture card and certain streams by CPU. There is a way how you can set it up during the integration. Also, to balance workload on a CPU, we have been using the preview streams. Preview streams have a lower resolution, but it allows you to minimize workload on your CPU. So here, 1, 2, 3, 4 cables, streamer, and individual sources. So these were created by the IPX card, and these were created by CPU. So you see what we have done. The workload during the implementation stage increased, I know, 3 times at least, but we were able to handle it because of Polywall functionality. Polywall versatility means take Polywall streamer for fifth workstation, and the ability to balance the workload between the components of the controller. This way, we were staying in the same level of the budget and deployed a solution which satisfied the customer. And that is most important, to satisfy the customer needs and make sure that they are happy. We have the official case study for that on our site. You can check in, download, and study more. And these photos from this story. By the way, there was one more interesting option for the cost saving. And this option were here. I mentioned that we were using one GPU, which means we had exactly 4 outputs from this GPU, but 3x3 video wall is a 9 panels. So in order to connect 9 panels to 4 inputs, we were using the daisy chaining feature. And generally daisy chaining, we were using this option of daisy chaining. We have created the columns or segments 1x3, and every signal, every output was giving exactly this resolution of the signal, 1920 by 3240. And that way we addressed all 3 segments with 3 cables. So we were able to even have some spare space to one more column of the sources. And then Polywall created the image. Here you see Polywall visualizer frame. It was an image across all the screens managed by Polywall. In general, this story, I mean the story of making the daisy chain, is a very common way how you can decrease a workload, decrease the number of cables from controller to your video wall. And by doing this, you decrease the requirement to the controller. You minimize the cost of it, having the resolution same. So that is, again, a very common and important cost-saving option for your projects, to use the daisy chaining. Okay, so let's consider some other projects. And in this project, there were the customer premises where 2 video walls located, 24x2, a very long story which occupied a lot of space, and 6x2, I think, yeah. And this kind of projects, again, about how you can easily do it. Our partner was assembling the units by himself. So to drive the image for these video walls, again, we created daisy chain segments. So we minimized a number of channels, number of outputs from 48 to just 12, just by using daisy chain segments. Then 12 outputs, customer requested on the redundancy of the controller. So that's why 2 units were provided. Just 2 usual computers, each computer with 3 GPU cards. That's it. So you see, it's a quite common graphical workstation with 3 GPU installed. Switchers, 2-to-1 switchers were used to actually commute input from the main controller. If it fails, then input from redundant controller. This way, we select a signal for our video wall. That's it. You see the 2 visualizer units, 2 computers, and a huge video wall 24 by 2, it's something which you can really see just once a year usually. It's a big story. Next room was like a network operation center. And here a same approach was selected. The video wall was connected into the 3 segments. Switchers are selecting signals. 2 units in a hot redundancy mode for customer did the right job. All this was managed by the Polywall server, which was separate setup, just one PC to host a control unit. And doing this, we were just spending 1 license of Polywall. We have a special cost saver option called Polywall Enterprise, which is fit to the distributed control rooms, multiple rooms in one project. And just 1 license were able to handle this situation. So again, cost saving and still a very high reliability of the system with redundant units. To go further into the distributed control room case study, I want to show you last story for today. The story with some financial institute which have 5 different video walls in one premise. So just showing like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One of these rooms were having the 16 by 2 video wall, others having the different size video wall, and around yeah, by the way, that's a photo how it looks like. So you see the very, very, very long video wall. And across the facility, across the floor, there is around 80 workstations. Any of this workstation should be available immediately for any of the video walls as a source. But the issue was that actually users and operators were not sitting straightforward in their workplaces. They were roaming around. They have a free space. They have a cafeteria area and others. And the problem was to actually at any time to take a signal from their laptops and bring it to the video wall. And how we have done it? Using Polywall Streamer. So again, 1 license for whole premise. There is unlimited number of operators, streamers, and video walls inside 1 license. So every item was provided with a display over IP feature of Polywall Streamer. So by doing this, we were able to capture any moment, capture the content from that workstation and bring it straight forward to the video wall. That solution is working, and imagine how light it is. So bill of material for the distributed control room of 5 rooms consists of 5 computers for the video walls and 1 computer for the server. That's it. It's a complete set of items. Yeah, 10 gigabit network, Wi-Fi router for the users who disconnected and went somewhere. So Wi-Fi router was used to capture signal and send it through Wi-Fi. And that's it. Imagine 80 users with the streamers. If you do it on AV-IP systems, that will be skyrocketing in terms of price. If you do it in any other system, it will be too expensive and too complex to deliver. And it will not satisfy customer because users will not be able to travel around. And using the Polywall, it was really simple to deploy. It's working right now. Customer is happy about the features, about the quality, and about the cost as well. So that's generally it about the couple, three interesting programs, 3 interesting projects, which was showing the quality and the cost effectiveness of the software approach. You can combine all the best sides of the video matrix, of the AV over IP, of the IP KVM, use it in your project, and use these features exactly where you need them best. If you have some remote unit, give the AV over IP streamer from it. If you have a local PC connected by cable, if you don't want to introduce any PC, you just generate your sources on demand without any PC. So that kind of approach possible only with the software. And again, it is very cost effective, light, and simple to deliver and deploy. Okay, thank you very much. After this webinar, I will reach you over the email. So let's speak to each other. Let's see how we can help you with our consultancy for your projects. Let's together investigate your requirements, and I will be happy to help you on the advices for a control room which you are building right now, and help you to create it using the Polywall software solution. Thank you very much for your attention. Please feel free to drop any messages to chat, to Q&A session, and looking forward to contact you after the meeting. Thank you very much.